in the US, right, if I have sensitive data and I give that to an employee and they sign an NDA not to disclose it and they disclose it, then I can go sue them. Ultimately, if somebody calls me for a reference on that person in the future, like I'm not going to say positive things. I may not say anything at all, depending on the law. But so there's this whole kind of legal framework in the US where I know I can go after somebody who's a US citizen that's working remotely for my company if they disclose stuff. Besides the stuff you talked about that kind of makes it harder for somebody to share stuff they shouldn't, is there anything that if somebody's, say, hiring offshore in Argentina or another in Latin America that you have any recourse whatsoever, or is it just a higher risk if you hire offshore?
It ends up being, yeah, a business decision because you can have, as I mentioned, NDA, an IP, confidentiality agreement with them. It's very hard to enforce those. So you got to go overseas and have representation in both countries. It's also hard to enforce an NDA or something overseas. So
Yep.
what most companies end up doing is just analyzing it from first reducing as much the risk that someone's going to leak something or sharing and with the measures that we mentioned before, and then just thinking about their own situation and deciding whether it makes sense to take the risk given the savings and all the other associated benefits, or if they prefer to not do it and hire only locally. So far what we're seeing is that there's a lot of appetite for global talent in general, and companies end up deciding to take the risk.
It it seems to be mostly an overblown fear. Though though I know in the talent sourcing world where near competes, companies like us get offered competitors' customer lists all the time. Um, so so you just gotta deal with what you deal with. The solution to that is just have systems that make it so it's not easy for somebody to steal your customer list,
Yeah.
or impossible.